Hello and welcome to VanguardLive Sports. My name is Damlola Okunshakin. Of course, here we review sports. Of course, a lot of things happened over the weekend. A lot of matches were played with some surprising, like Manchester City losing their match to Leicester City at home, and also Brighton also losing home to Manchester United. We also have Crystal Palace losing to Everton. So of course we'll be reviewing that, and also reviewing Elephants dump Eagles to play Belgium, and Osimhen to Napoli, third most expensive transfer. Also, Manchester United make shock move for Kante of Chelsea amid interest to Inter Milan. Okay, so let's start with that of the EPL review, and Brighton versus Manchester United. Brighton actually lost to Manchester United with 2-3. It was actually a dramatic injury time penalty that gave Manchester United victory at Brighton, and their first 3 points of the season in a stunning game, of course, at Amex Stadium. A match packed full of incidents was settled with a very final kick as Bruno Fernandes coolly struck in the winning penalty, spotted and awarded via a VAR check for Nerim Mupei's handball from a corner, all after on-field official Chris had blown to signal the end of the match. Just moments before Brighton thought they had sealed the points that would have been the least they deserved, when Solly headed in a cross from Reza, of course, and it was a sitting finale to a madcap seesaw, a game that had seen Avion take the lead through a Mupei penalty before United clawed their way back into, of course, the ascendancy thanks to a Luiz Dunk own goal and a superb solo effort from Marcus Rashford. It wasn't enough. The home side also struck the woodwork 5 times, which saw one awarded penalty overruled by VAR and another potential one waved away. Of course, on top of that, the visitors had 2 goals ruled out for offside. But despite all, despite being far from their best, it's the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer side who emerged with the first win of the Premier League campaign, helping quieten some of the criticism that followed their surprise opening game loss to Crystal Palace. For Brighton, of course, it's a flurry loss at the end of an emotional roller coaster. Their second from 3 games. Fernandes may have scored the winning penalty, but it was at fault for the one for which Brighton scored the opener, courtesy of a clumsy foul on, of course, again lively Tariq. Harry Maguire also played his part in the equalizer to that opener with his presence in the Brighton box, forcing Dunk to poke in the manager Matisse headed cross. Rashford was also particularly impressive and involved in much of their good attacking play. While talking about David here, of course, he also deserves some accolades for a superb point-blank save, of course, to deny Trossard just moments before match. It has sparked the injury time madness. But this match with Manchester United that they played over this weekend, so far as saying that they've really tried, they improved compared to their opening match which they lost, but compared to now they've really tried. But still looking forward to how their match is going to come. And also talking about Crystal Palace and Everton. Crystal Palace lost at home to Everton, and that was with 1-2. Of course, Calvert-Lewin's fifth league goal of the season opened the scoring for the Toffee, following a neat beat up from James Rodriguez and Simons Coleman. Of course, the free header drew Palace level, but Richarlison's restored the visitors' lead from the penalty spot after Joe Ward was controversially adjudged to have handled Lucas. Everton had chances to extend their lead in the second half, but Luis shined Rodriguez corner past the post before Colombian. Of course, Rodriguez had a goal-bound shot blocked by Mamadou. Of course, Palace saw more of the ball in the closing stages, but failed to trouble Jordan Pickford in the Toffee's goal. The win lifted Carlo Ancelotti's side to the top of the Premier League table. And now talking about West Ham and Chelsea, of course, this was another surprising match. Apart from that of Brighton and Manchester United, a lot of people were expecting that that Chelsea would have dominated that match. But talking about Thiago Silva, of course, we have people saying that his debut was actually not satisfying. But Tammy Abraham scored a stoppage time equalizer to complete an incredible comeback and rescue a point for Chelsea at West Brom, and beyond that, they had trailed 3-0 at halftime. In a thrilling match, West Brom looked to be heading for their first win back in the Premier League after racing into a commanding lead inside the opening 30 minutes at the Altons. Thiago Silva was making his Premier League debut for Chelsea, was then too casual in possession, allowing Robinson to bounce and run at goal before doubling the lead with another impressive finish. Remarkably, it was quickly 3-0 as Carl was left unmarked to top home inside the 6-yard box after the visitors failed to deal with a corner. But Frank Lampard's side rallied after the break, and Massey Mount reduced the deficit from 20 yards. Of course, Blue boss Frank Lampard looked furious, slumped in a seat in the dugout after sending his players out early for the start of the second half. Of course, having been handed the captain's armband on his first Premier League appearances, arriving on a free transfer, it was supposed to be a day to remember, of course, for 36-year-old Brazil centre-back, that's a Silva. But instead, his mistake allowed Robinson to get a score after the former Sheffield United forward had broken the header following Alonso's careless header. And we hope the next match they are going to be playing will be better than this one they played with West Brom City. But from that, of course, they added 1 point to their points on the Premier League table. And talking about the most disappointing match this weekend, Manchester City and Leicester. Leicester City defeated Manchester City in a match that you can say Manchester City actually rested without really doing a lot, compared to with how people were even watching that. Even say Leicester City would have scored more if given the chance. Of course, a lot of people who picked up the tickets, to bet this weekend actually lost it, for Manchester United against Leicester City. So Manchester City's manager Pep Guardiola has got a lot to sort out. His side had an awful afternoon against Leicester City on Sunday, and that was as poor as they have seen them play in a long time. It was more than just the fact that they considered some bad goals. What was really worrying was how lost the look from front to back. When things have gone wrong for City under Pep in the past, it has been easy to criticize their defense for being unable to deal with counter-attacks or for making individual mistakes. Of course, people saw those things happen against Leicester, but I think the whole team has to take responsibility for this defeat, not just their defenders. Of course, the players in front of them did not put enough pressure on the ball and got played around too easily. They weren't staying with runners or getting up to the ball. That, as well as the fact that they seemed unable to create any chances when they came forward, was the worst about the performance, and most likely what people are used to seeing them for. City were without injured forwards, that's Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus, who could both be out for several weeks. Of course, being without a recognized striker on Sunday was obviously going to be a problem, but it was the knock-on effects. Of dealing with which had a bigger impact on their performance. City's struggles in attack were made worse by their mistakes at the back. The 3 penalties they considered were all very similar. Each time they let the Leicester City player get the wrong side of them inside the area, they made a clumsy challenge. Of course, and it was like they also did not really put too much effort. They were too relaxed. And of course, talking about Fernando, who went off early in the past. Of course, Pep Guardiola tried to bring in striker Liam, but it left his team very, very open, too open. So many people felt that Manchester City were too open for that. And now, talking about Tottenham and Newcastle, it was a draw. And of course, we've seen this point for Newcastle via the VAR penalties, same VAR that helped Manchester United to win the other match. And Newcastle rescued, of course, an injury time point against Tottenham Hotspur from the penalty spot, entirely against the run of play after another controversial handball decision. Spurs could have been 5-0 up if they had taken their chances by the time Andy headed a cross against Eric Dier's arm from close range. The decision was made after video assistant referee consultation. Of course, Callum Wilson stepped up to score the penalty with practically the last kick, and Spurs boss, of course, Jose Mourinho, walked down the tunnel in disgust. Lucas had put Spurs ahead at the back post from a low cross by Harry Kane, the England striker's 5th assist in 2 league games. And of course, that's all for the EPL. And now looking at the full match, of course, Brighton, of course, lost to Manchester United. Crystal Palace that lost to Everton. West Brom and Chelsea, it was a draw, while Burnley lost to Southampton at home. Also, Sheffield United playing home lost to Leeds United. Tottenham and Newcastle, it was a draw, while Man City lost to Leicester City, and West Ham defeated Wolves at home. Of course, we have other matches that will be coming up later on. And talking about the standing, Leicester City is currently leading with 9 points, and have played 3 matches, and Everton also played 3 matches and have 9 points, while Arsenal, Liverpool, Crystal Palace and Leeds United all have 6 points with 3, 4, 5, 6 on the table. Now, away from that, talking about Bayern's 32-game unbeaten run ends. Bayern Munich, of course, suffered their first defeat since December 2019 as they were beaten at Hoffenheim. Bayern had won their past 23 matches and were unbeaten in 32, a run that saw them win last season treble and the UEFA Super Cup on Thursday. Of course, it was either the host Munas the ball doubled their lead before Joshua's fine goal for Bayern, but after Andrek scored twice, including an injury time penalty to seal a famous win. The hosts are managed by Sebastian, who was Bayern's youth coach last season. Champions of Bayern, who brought on Robert Lewandowski in the second half after starting him on the bench, had beaten the other team 8-0 in their opening Bundesliga game. And talking about, of course, Athlético Madrid versus Granada. Of course, they won the match 6-1. Atletico won the match 6-1. And Suarez scores twice, makes 1 assist for his debut for Atletico Madrid, as he helped his new side, of course, to a comprehensive 6-1 win over informed Granada yesterday. Of course, Suarez only had a 20-minute cameo for Diego side, but he enjoyed an action-packed period on the pitch, and he has also won a penalty. He also won a penalty in that time frame, which was overturned by the VAR. Atletico were in control of the game throughout, and they opened the scoring in the 9th minute through a Diego Costa header, but they were denied a second as Saul penalty was stopped by visiting goalkeeper Rose Silva. Of course, talking about Suarez, seems he's doing very well in Atletico Madrid following his dramatic leave from Barcelona. And away from that, now talking about Liverpool stars Thiago Alisson dabbed to be fit for Arsenal clash. Alisson started last week's 2-0 win over Chelsea, while Thiago debuted from the bench at halftime, but both were given the night off as Jurgen Klopp's backups roamed to a 7-2 League Cup win over Lincoln City in midweek. They claim that the pair will undergo late fitness tests today, and the nature of their injuries are not yet specified. Thiago did train with his teammates on Friday, while Klopp will already be without skipper Jordan Henderson, who was forced off at halftime of the Stamford Bridge clash with a thigh injury. Of course, fellow midfielder James Milner, meanwhile, is also struggling for fitness, having suffered a calf strain. Now, talking about Manchester United making a shock move for N'Golo Kante amid interest from Inter Milan. Although it seems, of course, Kato could be heading to Old Trafford after the Red Devils contracted his representative. When Inter's chief Pero has already ruled out a move for Kante, that was after his team. Chelsea says they were unwilling to release. Of course, to release N'Golo Kante, but it seems now Manchester United is trying to make a move. Of course, they've also rejected an offer which involved Christian and Marcelo, and also Celio claimed that the midfielder is too important for Chelsea, to Chelsea for the team to consider him. And we wonder just a few days, to the transfer closing window, if this will be possible for Manchester United, seeing that they've not really signed a notable name this summer during this summer transfer window. And talking about Osimhen, who is Osimhen's transfer to Napoli, third most expensive transfer. With just 7 days, of course, to the closure of the transfer window, that's International Equipe has listed Victor Osimhen's move from Lille to Napoli as the third most expensive so far. The French sports publication put the value of Osimhen's transfer at 71.2 million euros. Of course, it's further reported that the deal comes with an additional 10.1 million in guaranteed bonus, and the total amount will therefore amount to 81.3 million euros, a price easily justified by the age of the Nigerian, who is 21 years old. Is also committed until 25 years till 2025, and that was what the report claimed. And the move also is only bettered by the author's transfer to Juventus from Barcelona for 72 million euros, and Kai Havertz's switch from Bayer Leverkusen to Chelsea for 80 million euros. Both have additional bonuses of between 10 and 20 million euros also. And now over to down here to Nigeria home. We're talking about Super Eagles facing Cote d'Ivoire, but it seems it will not be happening, as Cote d'Ivoire have said they will prefer to face Belgium instead of playing Manchester United, instead of playing Nigeria. Super Eagles. And talking about this, according to reports, there has been rumored that they didn't want to play. They don't want to play Manchester United, who ranked. They don't want to play Nigeria, who ranked 28th. Instead of, they want to play the world #1 Belgium and not Super Eagles. Talking about it, I think this is telling, Super Eagles coach that he should go and work more instead of just doing this. And also, Super Eagles players, we're all looking forward to this match with Cote d'Ivoire, but it seems now that they've agreed to play Belgium. And also, Belgium says they are really waiting for the elephants to come and play with them, as they are described as one of the best in Africa. That's Cote d'Ivoire players, as they are described as the best. And so we are open. Super Eagles also, we have this record so that next time they will not be dropped from the match that they hoped to play. And of course, talking about Belgium coach, he says, and I quote, "It's a team with strong individuals of the highest level who are currently performing very well, such as we've read Zaha of Crystal Palace and Nicolas Pepe of Arsenal." It says, and he also says it's a perfect sparring partner for him for his international period, in which they have 3 matches. So it's really good. We'll be looking forward to the match between Belgium and Cote d'Ivoire, and also looking forward to the next, the next team that Super Eagles will be playing with. And of course, that ends, today's sport, and that's what we have for you. Don't forget that you can always like and follow us on our social media platforms to get more of our top stories, and also visit our website www.vanguardngr.com to get more of the things that are happening around the world, and also everything about sports. That's all from me, Damilola Okunshaki, on VanguardLive Sports.